Hey guys, what's going on? There has been a lot of FUD in the markets lately, unfortunately. We've had the whole SEC suing Binance and Coinbase and labeling 19 items as securities in the crypto market. We've had Hong Kong reach out to these businesses and say, hey, we will welcome you here. And then now, today, the Federal Reserve announced that and initially, I thought that this was going to be good news. They announced that they weren't going to be doing any rate hikes. But then they said, we probably will do more this year, though, and we won't start lowering interest rates for another 2 years. So that is very bad news for the cryptocurrency market. That's bad news for the entire market as a whole. But let's talk a little bit about that and some of the ramifications, right? Because, a lot of people have been talking about where this FUD is coming from, why Gary Gensler is so adamant on bringing the cryptocurrency market down, and why the US government is attacking crypto. And there's been a lot of speculation that this is due to the fact that the US is trying to break a CBDC into the market, pegged to the US dollar, and it views all of these other crypto assets as competition. And the US doesn't want competition, right? It wants to be the one and only. The US dollar has had dominance across the world for years now, and they don't want to give up that dominance, especially to an industry that they don't view as its equal. But what does that mean for Bitcoin? Honestly, I think that it creates a strong case for Bitcoin because, as we know, Bitcoin is labeled as a commodity. We know that to be 100% certain. The SEC has labeled it as a commodity. The CFTC has labeled it as a commodity. And everybody else in this industry kind of knows and understands that that's the case. But let's talk about what this will do to the market. The current Federal Reserve and their decision today, along with what they've said is going to occur over the next 2 years. I think that the market is probably going to stagnate a little bit right here as interest rates aren't going up. But as interest rates continue to go up over time, the market could potentially continue going down for the time being, right? Now, obviously, we have the Bitcoin halving in a year from now, year and a half, whatever it is, and that is going to be a very positive thing on the market as a whole because every single time we've had a Bitcoin halving, the price has gone up eventually, and I don't think that that's going to change anytime soon. I think that we'll still see that occur in the next halving, but going back to the Federal Reserve, I just want to say that the Federal Reserve is why we're in this predicament to begin with. They printed trillions of dollars when the pandemic first began in an effort to prop up the market. So they went out and purchased all of these assets using printed money that came out of thin air. And what did that do to the US dollar? Well, it inflated it. And because of that, now we have consumers that are trying to go out and purchase things like gas and food, and their day-to-day things that they need to survive have gone exponentially up. But we're finally starting to see the CPI go down, and what that means is that inflation for everybody and everything is finally starting to drop. But the Federal Reserve doesn't believe that we're at a place yet for them to stop lowering interest rates. So they are going to continue this aggressive approach of tightening in order for us to get back to that 2% mark that they would like to see. And because of that, there's going to be less lending, there's going to be less businesses trying to open up and go out and get a loan, there's going to be less people purchasing houses, and that has an impact on literally everything. And so everything that I've talked about thus far in this video is due to all of this money printing that we did at the start of the pandemic, that the Federal Reserve did, I should say. And so that's my outlook on it at this point. Obviously, things can change drastically over time, but I just wanted to share some of my thoughts on everything that we heard today from Jerome Powell from the Federal Reserve, and kind of weigh in on how it will affect the cryptocurrency market. But if you enjoyed today's video, please be sure to hit that like button. That's going to be it for this one. Crypto Clay out.